Good evening, Salam Alaikum, good morning. Welcome to IOSH Oman 6th branch event for 2021-22. The theme for the today's event is excelling HSE performance, and we have selected two key topics for how we can excel our HSE performance. One is on the emotional intelligence. We will be talking with our expertise, Mr. Vishwanathan, on the 8 emotional intelligence driver, and also how we sustain our business, how we continue the growth of our business by having the business continuity plan. And for that, we have Mr. Mohammad Abbas joining us. So just as a housekeeping, Please ensure that you are keeping your mic on muted. You can keep your camera on or off. You can select on a speaker view so that you don't, miss the speaker while the presentation. If you have any questions, please park your questions or please send the questions through the chat box. And at the end of the presentation, we'll be taking all the questions. In case if we have to speak, only one speaker at a time so that we can understand the other speaker. This is one of the challenge while connecting through the technology. As per the security protocol, the meeting should be logged by 7:50. But I will request Catherine for keeping the meeting on, because sometimes people get disconnected due to the network issue, and then they get an issue of in rejoining. So enjoy your session for the day. So I welcome all the members, all the branch members, all the new attendees, either from Oman or from any part of the world, from wherever you are joining, and also all the potential IOSH member, those who are not member. And I believe that by attending these events, you'll get the benefits. You'll get to understand the benefit of IOSH Oman branch initiatives, and you'll be prompting to get the IOSH membership. So the IOSH Oman. For today's, I'll be giving you the quick updates on the IOSH branch, and then we'll be moving to our main, agenda for the day, which is excelling HSE performance. So as we have selected two topics, one is understanding 8 emotional drivers for high performance. And also we'll be having the second presentation on business continuity management plan. And after each presentation, we'll be taking the question and answer. So during the course of presentation, if you have any queries, please send your queries through the chat box, and which I'll be taking after the presentation is over. So the IOSH Oman branch, our purpose of the branch is aligned with the IOSH objective. So we champion the occupational safety and health in the region, and we promote the occupational health and safety by the different ways. We also collaborate and facilitate the exchange of information through the IOSH members by bringing the authorities and the different professional bodies on the on board for the events. We also help the members for their competency development, for their professional development. We help them for their CPD. So the IOSH Oman branch is also working with the IOSH strategy and alignment, and we are focusing on enhance, collaborate, and influence. And we have 6 priorities as a IOSH objective, especially for helping the members on non-health related fatalities, occupational cancers, well-being, rehabilitation to work, musculoskeletal disorder, and sustainability and human capital. We also promote the IOSH competency framework, for which helps the health and safety professionals and the organization to develop the professional competence of their members or their employees. As a IOSH Oman branch, we have 248 members as on today, and we are providing the platform for networking with the occupational health and safety professionals, authorities, regulators, industries, sectors. We have a core committee in IOSH Oman, where we have 12 core members. We also provide the free seminars, branch events, CPD tools, and the other resources to the businesses and especially to the members. We have an impactful presence in Oman, and we have been recognized by the industry. We are influencing the government and business and supporting by bringing them on our platform and helping them to meet our members. We are the key player for providing platform on health and safety issues in Oman. So this is the different categories of the members. We have 34 affiliate members, associate members. We have 30 chartered members. We have 111 graduate members. And from last 1.5 years, we are getting good amount of student members. So young Omanis, young professionals are attracting to our branch, and we have overall 31 student members. So as on today, we have 248 members. The age bending of our members is most of our members are quite young, between the age group of 20 to 49. And we also have the senior and experienced members in the group, which really share their expertise and their best practices. In terms of gender split, we have 212 male members. We have 21 female members, and some are undisclosed. So as a growth of the branch, You can see year on a year the growth of the branch. We established Oman branch in 2012, and in last year we had 80 new members join. Before that we had a 53 new members join, and I think this year itself we have almost more than 20 plus members newly joined to the branch. So again, to emphasize, we work on the enhance, collaborate, and influence, where we are providing the platform to the members. Also, with the especially during this COVID, when we gone into the virtual, we are open to even the members and non-members, and we provide them the opportunity to understand what IOSH is doing and get the benefit like the other members getting. So with this, let me introduce to Mr. V. Vishwanathan. He is a corporate trainer, consultant. He is a visiting faculty on the business schools and an author. I had an opportunity to work with Mr. Vishwanathan, and now he is relocated in India, and he is doing the freelance consultancy. He's a he got a vast experience, and he's a global, member of the Global Trainer Federation. He is the PMP holder. He has done the NLP, EQ, and MBCT practitioner, and he is well-renowned trainer, especially in the corporate world in India, and helping the SMEs and the young professionals, college and school students. He is also an author of different books, and one of the book which is very famous is An Impeached Grandpa, and that's a full of humorous collection. Now today, Mr. Vishwanathan is going to take us how to help us to understand 8 emotional drivers and how we can make use of these 8 emotional drivers to enhance our performance, to enhance our especially in the as a health and safety professionals, how we can take these emotional drivers by selling our HSE, by ensuring the compliance and building up the culture in the organization. So with this, let me welcome Mr. Vishwanathan from India.
Thank you.
I'll stop on sharing and you can start sharing, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nilesh, and thank you, Catherine from IOSH. Thank you, Nilesh, for inviting me for this session. I'm very impressed by your long list of activities, and I wish IOSH and IOSH Oman all the success. So let me share the screen on today's topic of 8 emotional drivers. Is it visible? Okay, fine.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So today we'll be going through the 8 emotional drivers. So what are these 8 emotional drivers? What are the plus points and minus points of each of them? So all these things we'll be seeing in probably the next 30 to 35 minutes, followed by the Q&A. So what are the learning objectives of this session? The first thing, we'll be understanding what are these 8 emotional drivers. Then, as I said, their advantages and disadvantages. And finally, most importantly, how to rank the emotional drivers of each individuals, right? And then we will also have an action plan at the end of the session, right? So the 8 emotional drivers, I'll quickly run through this. So don't worry if you're not able to remember all these things, because each of them will be coming back again one by one and to see that in more detail. So the 8 drivers are love and belonging, then control and security. We have diversity, which is more of diversity and variety. Then recognition and significance. Then we have achievement orientation, challenge and growth. Then we have excellence. And last is contribution and responsibility. Responsibility in the sense, responsibility and then contribution. The need to contribute, the willingness to contribute, that's the last one, responsibility. Right. All these emotional, when we say emotional drivers, is there a difference between motivational drivers and emotional drivers? Yeah. So I'd like to clarify this at the beginning. Emotional drivers are something which is within us. So what drives us? You can have drivers from outside and you can have drivers from within. the best driver everybody can have is something within us. So when that drives, we have a self-starter within us. We don't need to go for something to motivate us from outside. It's all inside us. So we are going to discover each of these drivers and how we can make use of these drivers to progress in our journey. Right. The first driver, as I said, is love and belonging. So people with a high need for love and belonging, they always like connection from being with others. They want to be with others. They enjoy being with others. There is I'd like to recall a movie from one of the regional languages. In this movie, the heroine comes from a family where she always mingles with the people. So she spends her time with all the family members, all the relatives in the village. She goes and talks to the villagers. So her whole life is driven based on talking with others. And suddenly after marriage, her husband is a project manager. So he gets transferred to a very, very remote location in India. And that project site is very, very far off. So they have a camp in the project site. And the husband and wife, they move to that place. And once she goes there, she feels like a fish out of water because her drive is love and belonging. She wants to be with others. But in this situation, she is rarely able to meet people. The husband goes in the morning, 7 o'clock, he goes in the morning and comes back by 8:30. And during this time, she has nobody to talk to, nobody to converse, and she gets really bored. What she does, her husband is an electrical project manager. So anytime there is a problem in the house, she will call the husband and he will send a technician to rectify the defect. So she will feign so many problems. Actually, there is no problem in the house, but she will fake those problems. She will say that the tube light is not working, call her husband. So immediately he will send a technician or somebody to rectify the problem. The moment she sees that person, she'll become very happy and she will talk to that person and even offer him lunch. After that, when the person will find out that there is no major problem, you will ask, ma'am, I don't see there is no major problem here. Oh, okay, no problem. If it is fine, then it's okay. Then again, the next day, she will call another person. She will call her husband saying that the fan is not working and somebody will come and rectify the problem. But again, the whole idea is she wants to talk to people. And as days pass by, she goes into depression because she's not able to meet people and talk to people as much as she wants. So finally, she becomes bedridden. The doctor comes and diagnoses her, and she finds out that she has recorded so many sounds in her mobile recorder. She has got the sounds of the birds, the sounds of people. So he finds that she needs people. She needs to hear people talking. And he tells her husband, there is absolutely no problem with her. You can take her to a place where she is able to connect with people and you will see a world of difference. And he does that. He again seeks a transfer to a place where she is able to be with people and she becomes perfectly all right. So her whole life changes. So this is the need for love and belonging. So if this need is too high, this can be the stage. But if the need is too low, then they may not, the people with a very low need, they'll not really be interested in mingling with the people. So their need may be something else, right? So that's the disadvantage. The people with the low need, they don't mind so much on being with the people. But whereas people with the high need, very high need means, again, the two extremes are a bit of a caution, a red line. If it is too high, then you may become, when you're deprived of this, you may go into some sort of a depression. So that's the love and belonging. So the next need is safety and control. So for people with this high need for safety and control, they want to have the greater ability to maintain security in their lives. So they want everything to be safe and secure, no risk. So absolutely, if things should go according to the plan. So again, this is it's a good drive. It's not that this drive is not a good one, but again, people with a very high need for safety and security, extremely high. So they will not be ready to take any risk. So even in safety, what we say is that there are hazards, but they have to be managed. We have barriers, level 1 barrier, level 2 barriers, and the entire management of the hazards is all about safety, right? So, but these people, they will not be ready to go into that zone. They will say, no, there is a risk and I will not do that. So that will be the people with a very high drive for the safety and control. And on the other hand, people with a very low need for safety. What do they do? And these people, they take very huge risk, uncalculated risk, and they end up in troubles. So that's the problem with the on the lower side. So we saw the positive side of safety and control, and on the negative side also. And one more thing is, people with a good need for safety and control, they can be very good in planning, because when they plan something, they can plan for plan A, and if plan A doesn't work out, they will have a plan B, because in their map, they think about how to complete this job in a safe and secure manner so that nothing goes wrong. So that is their strength. They'll be able to do that in a very perfect way. Right. The third need is diversity and change. So people with a need for diversity and change, they seek change. They want variety in their lives. So put them in a room and give them a job, and 9 to 5, it's the same job. Maybe like they have to go through the files and then maybe sign that paper every day. And for signing that, you can pay them maybe 3,000 real, 5,000 real. They will not be really happy. They will not be driven by that salary, because what they want is a diversity and change. Diversity and change in their job, in the place, in the places they see, in the challenges they have. So everything, they want the diversity and change. So they are driven by that. So when that is deprived, then again, their performance will go down. But when they have this, their performance, you can see, is gradually really picking up, right? So they want variety, and through variety, they get excited, right? So let's see a small video clipping on the need for diversity and change. This is basically, this is actually a commercial on this has been taken as though the Mercedes-Benz CEO, he retires, right? On the last day, what he does. So that's the whole clip. And this has been done by BMW. And purely, of course, it's a fictional commercial. So let's watch this. So Dieter Zetsche is the CEO, so he retires, and everybody is very happy to sign him off. Yeah. So the ad says, thank you, Dieter Zetsche, for so many years of inspiring competition. And they have played based on this need for diversity and change. So the person, being the head of Mercedes-Benz, he cannot opt for any other car other than Mercedes-Benz. So the moment he retires, he goes for a change. So that's the whole concept. So people need this diversity and change, and those with a very high need for diversity and change, they always want things to be changed every now and then. So what's the plus and minus? The plus is that give them any variety of job, they'll be really very happy to do that. So today you post them in one site, and then tomorrow you transfer them to another site. That site also they'll work with a very enthusiastic way. But the problem when it goes very high, so they will not be able to focus. So because of the need for very high need for the diversity and change, they will not be able to focus on a particular job, and halfway through they may try to switch to the next job, and like that. So in the end, they may not complete anything in a proper way. So that is if it goes too high, and too low also we see what's the problem. So that is the diversity and change need. So the next one is recognition and significance. This is again one basic need which most of us have. So we want to be recognized. We want to be recognized for what we do. And we want to be significant. Like if you can see here in these balls, in the smiley balls, that one ball wants to be different. So that is all about the significance and recognition. It wants to be recognized. So if you see a class, and suddenly somebody will be raising the hand, and that person probably has a very high need for recognition. So he wants to be seen aloft in a crowd. So they want to be significant in that crowd, and they want to make a significant contribution also. So that is the need for recognition and significance. Now, again, what is the plus point of this? So these people with the need for recognition and significance, you give them any job, and then if they know that you are recognizing them for that work, they will do that job more and more happily, and they will be ready to take even more tasks, provided they get this recognition. The other hand, if the negative aspect of this is that people, when they are denied or deprived of recognition and significance, they may fake some problems and then say so like a child. If you take a child to a supermarket, suddenly she'll start crying, he or she will start crying, so that people start noticing her, right? So the same thing can happen to these people also. So they may complain unnecessarily, so that the entire attention is diverted to these people. So that is the negative side of recognition and significance. So again, one more short video we'll see. So this is basically acknowledgement of these people. They want their virtues to be acknowledged. Their plus points, their strengths, their achievements have to be noticed by people. They do something great, and then they come and tell the boss that I have done this. But if the boss says, oh, what is this? This is just a small thing, then immediately the entire tempo will go down, because it is not something else that they want. They want to be recognized. They want to be significant. And when that significance is crushed, they will also feel like being crushed. So let's see a small video here. Are they making trouble in the class? So the professor is handling the class, and so he's really surprised what's happening. In fact, that's the last day of his class. Right. So you could see that how much this recognition and significance makes a difference. On the last day, when he doesn't expect this. Suddenly, all the students, the teachers, they arrange for something very special, and they bring a register where everybody signs. All the students, they make remarks about him, and when they gift a watch, he's choked. He's unable to speak, and he's filled with tears. So that the act of recognition and significance can make. We all long for this, and when this is received, it makes a huge difference. Right. The next one is achievement. So people with the need for achievement, they want to complete and they want to achieve their goals. That is their primary motivation. So what does achievement mean? So achievement means that they need to make progress in their plans. So they may have plans, and in each plan they want to go step by step. But what is very important is that they want to complete that goal. So that when they complete that goal, they feel very, very happy, because that is what drives them, the motive of achievement. So again, what is plus, what is minus? The people with a very high need for achievement. So you can give them very, very a large project and all. And the moment they realize that if they can achieve that, then they will be very, very happily, they will be taking that assignment. And once they complete it, they will be really thrilled. But the negative aspect, again, if they're not able to achieve the task, they'll feel really very, very bad, because what is ultimately driving them is the need for achievement. Then one more one more negative aspect of this drive is that these people, because they have a high need for achievement, they may even mistake very small and very insignificant assignments, and then they may try to complete that. And once they complete that, because for them the completion is important. So once they complete that, they will feel very happy. So for example, we all receive so many WhatsApp messages. So somebody with a very high need for achievement, they may feel that, okay, today I have to go through all the WhatsApp messages. By the time I sleep, I have to achieve reading every single mail, which may not be really very important to his or her growth. But that is what will drive them. So what is very important is that is your drive or is your task really important? So that is what the people with the need for achievement drive should care for. Right. The next one is the challenge and growth. So people with the need for challenge and growth, they want to learn and grow by challenges. So give them the most or the toughest assignments in the toughest regions. Maybe if it could be a desert area, in the most adverse climates, everything. But because there is a challenge and they cherish that challenge really drives them. So the more and more challenges they have, they will be performing at their very best. So the drive for challenge and growth is what really propels them. So what is the plus and minus? The plus point is that people with the need for challenge and growth, you can give them really tough assignments, and the moment they know that there is a challenge, then they are in for it. But if they feel that there is no challenge, it's a very simple task, then they will say, no, I don't. Probably they may not be able to say no because it is part of their job, but that is this job, a very, very small job, an insignificant job, will not really propel them or will not drive them to their best performance, to their peak performance. But give them a challenge and they are game for it. Right. So the next one is the drive for excellence. What is excellence? So is there a difference between the other drivers? We will come to that. So excellence means that these people, they have a self-satisfaction pride in doing things perfectly. So everything has to be the best. So they are not satisfied with good, they are not satisfied with better, but they want it to be the best. Suppose if they want to build a house, it has to be the best house. So if they build a house in a row, in a street where there are 10 houses, their house has to be the excellent house. The people should say this is the best construction. So that is what will drive them. So the plus point of this drive is that they will do things very, very perfectly. So give them a task, and if you want that sort of a perfection, these people are the best people for that. But the negative aspect of this is that if they will do things they will try to do things as perfectly as possible. And in that process, they may spend so much of time doing, redoing that, and then fine-tuning it, planning, replanning, plan A, plan B, like that. They will be making it so that they want the best picture. But in that process, the picture may not evolve at all. So these people with a very high need for excellence, they may have to realize that it may take really a very, very long effort to reach that goal. So they can try even in small steps and learn from the mistakes, and then go one step, like that they can progress. So that is the plus and minus of the need for excellence. So you can see here a car where it's in a library, it moves in a library. So that means this product is an excellent product. It makes no noise. Probably the electric cars today what we have, but in a library where we expect pin drop silence, this car can go. So that is the example of excellence. So, and to this level, people with the high need for excellence, they also want to strive for it. So contribution and responsibility, people with the need for contribution and responsibility, they want to contribute to the society. So they want to contribute to the society, they want to contribute to the family, they want to take responsibilities, and that responsibilities again should be driven by a contribution, by a sense of contribution. So they want to help people. So that's really a very, very noble motive, and that is what really drives these people. So they want to help. If somebody is suffering, they will go there, and they don't want, they may not even need other facilities or other money or anything. So because they want to help, and that is their driver, an internal driver. So it just triggers them, and they want to go and help on their own, right? So the need to contribute to others, to the society, to the larger well-being of the world, sustainability and all those things we are now talking in safety and ESG goals and all these things. So these people, they really want that. So let's see again a short video. Of course, the language is a different language, but it doesn't matter, because just by seeing it, you can understand the message. So the boy gets this rupee note. Probably you can say it's like a 1 real or half a real. So he has a dream of buying some ice creams and all. So let's see what happens. So he sees the boy breaking the glasses of this old lady. So the joy of sharing and caring, this boy has got that sense of responsibility and contribution. He wants to contribute. And in this video, you can see also the different emotional drivers of people. So for this boy, he wants to contribute. So for him, the need for responsibility and contribution. But if you look at the old lady, even though her whole livelihood is based on selling tea, and whatever cups she has, it's being broken by this boy, but she doesn't get angry. So what is it that drives that lady, that woman? So you can see that love and belonging. She wants, because probably she remembers about her own grandson, her own, the younger days when she used to play. So the sense of love and belonging, that drives her. And so she doesn't, normally people will be getting very angry and thrashing that boy, but she calls that boy, hugs him, taps him on his head, and then gives the ball back. So the different people with different needs. So that is what really happens in our day-to-day life also. Sorry. Yeah, so now we are through with all the emotional drivers. So quickly, let's go through them. The first need we saw is love and belonging, where we want to belong to a group. And then the second one is control and security. We saw the plus and minus. The third one is diversity and change or variety. Then recognition and significance. So they want to be noticed in a crowd. They want to be recognized for their work. Then the fifth one is achievement. So they want to achieve. They want to complete the goals. They want to they want to give the 100% completion. That's what drives them. Then challenge and growth. The more challenging the job, the more will be their performance. The better will be their performance. So challenge and growth. Then excellence. So they want things to be really perfect. Then the last is responsibility and contribution. So these are the 8 drivers, the 8 emotional drivers, or the 8 internal drivers that drive all of us. So what is really important is that each of us have all these drivers, but the ranking is different. Some of us may have this love and belonging as a topmost need, and some of you may have responsibility as a topmost need. So what I want you to do is, probably we may not have time now. I want you to try this later. Take a piece of paper, and then in that paper, write all these drivers, rank them. Which is your top 3 drivers? What is number 1? What is number 2 and number 3? Similarly, when you write all the 1, 2, 3, and then up to the 8, your top 3 are really very, very important, right? I'll tell you why. And then you also look at your bottom 3, and especially the 8, 7, and 6. So, if you take an example, for instance, somebody with a very, very high need for achievement. So this person wants to achieve something in his life. So he completes his graduation, joins a job, and then he wants to make it very big in his life. So what is it that drives him? The need for achievement. But let us imagine that this person's second need, the second driver, is control and security, right? So what will happen is, the first need will try to push him towards achievement. The second need will try to drag him down, because every time he does something, this need will say, oh, be careful. You are taking a risk. So it's not worth it. So the second need will pull him down. So it is not in alignment, the first one and the second one. So if he is not able to understand this, every time he wants to do something, there will be an internal voice which will say, no, stop, like that. So we see many people, with very, very highly ambitious people, but they don't end up achieving so many things. That is because of the misalignment of the drivers. So similarly, let's take a person with a high need for recognition and significance, right? So this person is heading an organization. So he wants to do everything for the sake of recognition. So he will do anything, and then people will say that, yes, this person has done it. So that will really drive him. And for this person, if he has love and belonging as the 8th need, so he will not really be bothered about what people say. He will not be ready to mingle with the people and all. So what will drive him is the need for recognition and significance. So because that is his topmost driver. The bottommost driver is the love and belonging. So he will really not care about so suppose people are suffering. So in the process of making him popular, all the people may be suffering, but that will not be seen in his eyes. So because the only thing that is clear in his picture is his vision, his need for recognition and significance. So that is why I request you all to list out all these drivers, look at your top 3, look at your bottom 3. So the top 3 drivers are really, that is what is really pushing you. And now what we need to do is, are these drivers really helping us? That is what we should look at it. So if you find, again, as I said, the need number 1 is achievement, and need number 2 is safety and control. So you are now aware. So self-awareness is the first step towards correcting us, and then doing a course correction and moving forward. So once we know this, so we understand, yes, we have a high need for safety and control, absolutely fine, but we need to take calculated risk. We should have a plan B, plan A, plan B, and then the barriers, level 1, level 2, all these things should be there. And if it is there, we can move forward. So that realization, if they have, they can achieve anything, right? So, so this is what I said. So rank your emotional drivers, identify the top 3, and identify the bottom 3. Because why the bottom 3 is, these drivers, you're not really concerned. But in that process, are you hurting somebody? Suppose somebody is in HR, and then for him, love and belonging is the lowermost driver. So then probably the people will be not so happy. So these needs we have to identify and then do a course correction. So that is the whole idea behind the knowing about the drivers, their importance, and then what is our top driver, what is the next driver, and what is our least importance, right? So again, I just want you to reflect. So are your needs being taken away? Very, very important. These are the lessons. So we need to really ask ourselves, are our needs being taken away by others? Suppose I have a high sense of achievement, and I achieve something big, and somebody tells me, oh, what is this? It's a very, very insignificant job, and you want to be recognized. And then they say, no, this can be done by anybody. Why you alone claim credit for that? So that need is crushed. So love and belonging, they want to be with the people, and then you put them in some remote location where there is no contact with anybody. So that need is again taken away. So ask yourself, are your needs being taken away? So if so, what we should do? We should make ultimately we should express, and then only when we express to our people, they will be understanding our needs, right? So the other aspect is, are you taking away others' needs? So this also we should be very, very conscious. So when we close, now that we are aware of all these drivers, now look at the people, how they behave. Suddenly you say that they have done a good job, they are highly motivated. That means that they have a high need for recognition and significance, right? So if you take away that need, then they are going into a very, very low performance zone. So are you taking away others' needs? Then are your top 3 emotional drivers helping you to move ahead? If not, we have to really consciously work on reorganizing them, right? So that is the takeaway from the session, right? So thank you so much for the hearing, and I'm now open to questions. So even after this session, if you have any other questions also, you can reach me through email or through Mr. Nilesh, right? So thank you so much. So let me stop sharing.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You please stop sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the excellent presentation, and especially using this the effective videos, which makes the understanding more easy. I have a couple of questions parked in the chat box. I'll taking
right.
one by one. So the first question is, it is from Mr. Mumtaz Muhammad. So in workplace or team, are we meant to classify each worker, or it is a recruitment issue to choose the right person through these emotional drivers? So whether these emotional drivers should be used as a tool for the recruiting?
Yes, it can be used. Yeah, because how do you want to use this? There is again a matrix is there. Probably I can share this. This is basically a paired comparison method. So give them all these drivers, and you take the topmost driver and compare it with the other driver. So for example, love and belonging. So if I take love and belonging and then compare it with the other drivers, is this the topmost one, or something else is getting a precedence over this. So again, go to the next driver, then compare it. So finally, you can find through this paired comparison method, what are your drivers? So you can rank those drivers, and using that, you can find out what is the person's driver, right? So it's really a useful tool in recruitment. But the caution is, in a recruitment, this is just one of the tools, because you may have certain other requirements, and it is very easy to reorient people, even though they have a certain degree of achievement, motivation, or a sense of recognition, but you can groom them. And once they realize that it is not helping them, or somebody mentors them, coaches them, it is absolutely possible to bring them in alignment to whatever you expect.
So what is your advice, for a health and safety professionals where, on their work site, they deal with the different types of people. So how, they can use these tools to deal with these people, or, to ensure the compliance or improve the culture?
Yeah, actually, it's a very good question. So health and safety personnel, they are not only responsible for doing the jobs safely on site, the health of the people, right? So the engagement with the employees, that is a very, very important aspect of the safety professional. So we have seen cases of suicides in the camps, where people suddenly feel lonely, or they may have some other family problem and other things, so where they may not be able to air their grievances. So the health and safety personnel, when they talk, every day they have a toolbox meeting, and they are the best people on ground to assess the condition of the employees, if they have any personal problems and all. So they can easily find out what is their drivers. So if they know about these emotional drivers, and if they know that some driver is missing in them, or some driver maybe it's not really helping those employees, they can talk to them. They can bring them back to the group. So that is one thing which they can do. And the other thing, as I mentioned, the need for safety and control. So do you mean to say that this is not a good one? No, I said this is a perfectly okay drive. But only thing is that if it is too high, even a safety person with a very, very high need, maybe it goes to on a scale of 0 to 100. If it is 100, so that person may not be able to give any clearance for any job, thinking that there is, if you do this, we may not be able to achieve the things safely. But there are plans. There are safety management plans. There are risk management plans. So how can we implement them in a very, very safe way? And there are people who are in an organization with a very, very low need for safety and control. So those people have to be again groomed, because they may do things very, very carelessly, and that may lead to major accidents. So that also is a responsibility of the safety people to tell them that this is a drive. This is something which is an internal drive, and if this is taken care of, you will be able to do it in a safe way. And not only safe, there could be other drivers also which will be, you may be wondering why he is doing things unsafe in an unsafe way. Probably some other driver is making him to do that. So aligning that drivers, the driver number 1 may be an achievement, driver number 2 may be unsafe way doing things. So that you can explain to the person, and once he understands it is not helping him, he or she can do a course correction.
So when you say aligning the drivers, so how we can rearrange the order of the emotional drivers and to make use, especially for a health and safety professionals when they are driving the behavior-based safety. So how they can align the drivers for the others to influence them.
Yeah. So the first thing is we have to, as HSE people, we have to do the self-assessment for all of us. So all the HSE, so they themselves know what is their ranking. And similarly, this can be done for the others also. But practically, we may not be able to gather them in a one session and then give them this questionnaire or the paired comparison. So if due to practical constraints, we are not able to do that, by observing them very closely, you'll be able to find out that the top drivers. And aligning in the sense, the topmost driver and the second driver, or the second and the third, if they are not it's just like the railway engine. So we have the engine, then compartment number 1, compartment number 2. If each of them is pulling in one direction, the train will never reach the destination. So the engine and the other things all should be in the same track. So in the similar manner, so our drivers, so take for example, if it is somebody has a very high need for responsibility and contribution. So this person in his job, he wants to contribute something, and then he wants to help people. He may go out, out of the way. He will go out and then help people. He may explain an instruction, tell a job. This is how it is. Probably it may not be his job domain also. So, but still, what is it that drives him? It is because of his the need for responsibility and contribution. So, understanding this, suppose somebody says, it's none of your business to do all these things. Stop talking. So, we are probably, we are bringing him down, and then that drive is also crushed in him. So we can also understand his other drivers. Okay, if this is the topmost driver, what is the next driver? And are these in mismatch? Like I said, the engine and the other coaches, are they pulling in opposite directions? Like the need for achievement and the need for safety, high need for safety. So they may be working not in tandem. So that is really important. So if you understand that and help them, then they'll be really able to. Suddenly you can find a change. Earlier they were a very mediocre performer, or they were depressed, and suddenly once they know this and they are recognized, just like that professor, on the last day he becomes very tearful, choked with emotions. So tell him that, yeah, this is a good job that you've done. So, and the moment he reacts, he's very happy, then you can understand, yeah, the need for recognition is there. So let us recognize him. There is a book called as a 1 minute manager, where he says, you have a 1 minute goal, and then you have a 1 minute reprimand. You can also say that you have not done something properly with proper evidence, but he also says 1 minute appreciation. So tell him that be very specific. You take the efforts to point out what he or she has done well, and then tell them that, yes, this particular job you have done very well. So that, he will be very happy that somebody has noticed my work. So this is the way we can identify the drivers.
Thank you, sir. We have a lot of questions parked in the chat box, but due to the time constraints, I'll not be in position to take. So I'll just pass these questions to you on the later stage. And once you get it, a reply, we'll put as a FAQ and update on the IOSH website. So just
Sure.
as a last question, do you have any disclaimer that which one is the best driver?
Yeah, there is no such thing as the best driver, right? So all the drivers are equally good. It is, again, we have to see, does it help us? So how, and again, as I said, if it is going to be on the extreme side, there is a need for a caution. So there is nothing like this is the best drive and this is a bad drive. So all drivers are okay as long as they really help us. And one more thing I just wanted to add is money. Where is money coming in this? So money is not an internal driver, it's an external driver. So if somebody thinks that money drives them, you should ask the question, what for do they need money? And if they need money to build a house, right? So the same house, if they build it so that they can accommodate their friends and relatives, it means that their need for love and belonging, that is their primary driver. The same house, if they are building it so that they want to be recognized, you have done it. So which means that they have the high need for recognition. And if they want to complete it, and so that is the need for achievement, right? So they are building a house on probably a rock, and people say you cannot do this. Still they do that with the money. So what drives them is the challenge and growth. So money is not the primary driver. What they do with the money, from that itself we can understand their emotional driver.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And it's a very good topic, and really need more time. But thanks for enlightening us with these 8 drivers. And definitely each driver is important. And as a health and safety professional, when we are dealing with the people, we should understand that what is their driver, what is their top driving emotions, and based on that we should treat with them, and that will really help us to influence or to implement the behavior-based safety. So once again, thank you very much for on behalf of IOSH Oman. We are happy to connect with you more, but we have a time constraint, and the second speaker is waiting. So I'll send you all these questions which are parked, and definitely looking forward to meet you in the future also. So please stay on the line. And with this, let me welcome, one thing is that to enhance your HSE performance, you need to understand these emotional drivers, and accordingly you deal with the people so that they buy in the HSE and your HSE culture improves, and ultimately your HSE performance improves. But there are certain factors which are beyond your control. Like we have seen recently, the pandemic all around. We have seen, recently in Oman, there was a flood and which, devastated, many part of the Oman. So when such type of, crisis comes, how you overcome on, that crisis, how you maintain the business continuity and how you sustain your, business performance. So for this, we have a second topic on the business continuity management plan. Let me welcome Mr. Mohammed Abbas. Mohammed Abbas is a QHSE compliance manager working for the Port of Salalah. He's a bachelor in agricultural engineering. He is the active member of IOSH Oman. He is also the committee member for IOSH Oman. He's an approved IOSH trainer as well, with a vast 17 years of experience in the QHSE, and he is, with the construction background, and he's an approved NASPA trainer as well as the Hazmat specialist. So let me welcome Mr. Mohammed Abbas to understand more about the business continuity management plan, the different disaster scenarios, the cycles, and how it impact our business, and what formats or what templates we should use for the business continuity management plan. So with this, welcome Mohammed Abbas. I'll be unsharing and please start sharing your screen.
Thank you, Dr. Knowledge. I'll share my screen. Okay, thank you, Dr. Knowledge, and thanks to all for your attendance and participation for this session. I hope that some information, little bit information will be added to your valid background. Okay, we'll start by the session agenda or the topics that we will discuss during the session. We have the business, sorry, if you can see the screen, okay, it will be good. Our agenda will be included for the definitions and the development, how we can develop the business continuity management plan. Also for some scenarios for our disasters that, and also we will take the lesson learned from these disasters. The cycle for developing our business continuity management plan, and also for the business impact analysis, one of the steps that we have to go through while we are building the business continuity management plan. Then the BCM templates, some templates will be shared with you in order for the better understanding. We'll start by the definitions. You will find too much definitions, too much schools, too much area of definitions. Maybe some internal organization set the definition for the business continuity management plan. We'll go through some definitions like the first one, by example, the one of the holistic management process that identified the potential threats to an organization and also for the impacts on the business operation. Those threats, if realized, might cause a total stoppage for the business. So, second definition, provide a framework for building organizational resilience for the capability of an effective response that safeguards the interests of its key stakeholders, reputation, brands, value-creating activities as well. So one of the definitions also are talking about the involvement of developing contingency plan and the strategies to safeguard an organization visibility in the event of any crisis. This definition is based on, the last definition is based on the ISO 22301 for the business continuity management plan. Actually, this definition just collecting the most important parts that we have to find in our business continuity management plan. So we'll go through the definition for the ISO. It's a proactive process. The first sentence and the definition just talking for your mind to be alerted that we usually looking to work as a proactive, not a reactive. Remember this part. This is the most important issue that you have to take care while you are planning for any procedures, any emergency, any crisis management, any contingency plan, that you have to work like a proactive, not a reactive, that identifies the priorities of the form of the critical functions and the likely threats to those functions. From this information, you have to plan, and procedure are developed. You have your plan and the procedures are developed through a regular program for the personal training, plan testing, and also for the maintenance to ensure the continuous improvement. These management disciplines, processes, and techniques provide the business continuity for the critical business function under the circumstances and the limits set by senior management. Senior management is talking about the management commitment. As long as your management team are committed, you guarantee your successful management plan. These circumstances are and limit including defining the worst case scenarios, always working when you are thinking for your business continuity management plan. You have to think about the worst case scenarios. What will be the worst scenarios that you may face when you are planning for your business continuity management plan? Also approving the funding and the staffing of the company's business continuity management plan. Always are the HSE are talking for the budgets and investment, and that we have to buy for something, and we have to purchase for some issues like the personal protective equipment, and even for the for any issues that you need for a budget. Okay, when you are talking about the payment, that we can call it like an investment, not a payment. As long as you are invest in your HSE, in your organization's HSE, you will develop your HSE management system. Difference between the business continuity management plan, crisis management plan, and the emergency response plan. The first part, the red alert, is the incident. When we have an incident happened, the first intervention will be the emergency response team. They will intervene. Once the incident will occur or happen, the emergency response team will intervene. They will take too much activities, maybe little bit time, but the activities will be more than the time they will be take. While we are working for the emergency response and the emergency team are intervened, the crisis management team are intervened based on the escalation and also for the level of the incident that happened. Maybe we need to intervene the crisis management or not need for intervention. But anyway, we can see the activities of the crisis management will be less than the activities which will be effort in the emergency response. But the time will take more time to control. Okay. For the business continuity and recovery management, it will take too much time when you are not planning well for it. So what we have to do before the incident, as we mentioned before, that we have to work proactive. So in case of any incident, if you are paying too much effort, yes, before the incident, you will save your time and also you will save your money and also business reputations, everything that will be saved as long as you are working as a proactive. So the second one, we'll go through one of the major scenarios, one of the major disasters, the cyclone which hit Oman last October 2021, and some lesson learned from the business continuity management team here in Oman. We'll see the consequences of one of the natural disasters that hit Oman. Too much damage and also loss for assets, for everything. But the good lesson that we have to learn from this one is the recovery. Within few hours and maybe maximum 2 days, the areas which hit by the cyclone became like before the cyclone or better than. So we'll go through the short video, just to see what the consequences of the cyclone. Sorry, the video will be with a little bit voice, but anyway, nothing to be learned from the voice as well. Okay, from the video, we saw that the consequences for this cyclone, for Shaheen cyclone, too much loss for the assets, for even for the infrastructure like the electricity and everything. Within few days, everything back to normal. This is why for the previous planning for this, for such events, for the such natural crisis. So what we have to learn from this session, or for this incident that we already saw, the proper planning. Yes, for the consequences, it was very severe, very tough, but as all of us know, the crisis came from the natural crisis. We cannot assume what will be hit us. Even for the forecasting and everything that we have to take, it's already done in place. But unfortunately, the cyclone was very tough. So as I mentioned, that the lesson learned from this cyclone, the good planning for taking care about the recovery after the cyclone. So another disaster scenario, this is the COVID, which is already all of us knows about this one. We hear about too much pandemics or viruses hit some areas, and especially in the previous time, like the influenza and everything. So for the COVID, all of us are working for developing our business continuity management, and how we can ensure that the business will be running well in order to save the productivity and save our business reputations. So by example, one of the actions taken in order to keep the business running, the working from home. If your company or organization are working with the some expats, you are providing them some accommodations. So increasing the accommodation in order to make the personal and social distancing, and the to decrease the infection if you have any infection person from your work team. So the examples of what we already saw, that we have just to mention the importance of your planning in order to keep your business running. Okay, the third part is the cycle, how we can build our business continuity management plan. From the same cycle of the plan, do, check, act, that the first one is how to understand the business risks and their impact. You have to decide and understand the business risks and their impact on your business, considering the worst case scenarios as I mentioned before. So it will reflect your management commitment that they have to understand, and to the importance of the business continuity management plan. Then you have to build your team for this one. You can share for your if you don't have any specialist for the business continuity management plan, you can ask for a consultation from one of the experienced team for the business impact and the crisis management. Also, if you have any experienced people or staff in your team, you can refer to him. The second part or second step is just to develop the business continuity strategies. 4 main factors in your strategy that you have to consider. The first one, to build your team. The team which will work on the business continuity management. We'll call it, the first one will be the business continuity management plan owner. It will be the most senior manager, or even the managing director or the CEO of your organization, just to commit on the process that we are gonna to build or to develop. The second one is the business continuity management plan coordinator. Most frequent for this role, it will be from the even from the security manager, or even for the HSE manager. Actually, it was used to be used for the HSE team. The third section, or the third part of your team, will be the department's representative. You have to invite the most vital departments in your organization, which will hit or even impact your business, will stop your business, or even causing some mal-reputation for your business. So such as the IT, in order to keep your cyber attacks, by example, that you have to understand the potential threat from the cyber attacks and what will be the control that you have to set after your team discussion. Supply chain, procurement for the contractors and for the service providers that you are gonna to use them in case of any emergency. The operation or productivity or production team, this is the most important that you have to ask them. This is the scenarios and the potential impact that will hit, and this is the solutions. What you have from your idea in order to keep our business running. Also the HSE team and security as well. HR team just for the human resources and also for the staffing process, hiring process for the in case of any crisis that will lead to the business stoppage. Then you have to write your plan, develop your plan based on the process that you already take. The one of the strategies, step of your strategies, that you have to make your self-assessment, that you have to understand the level of your area that you already set. Now you have, this is the point that you are now decided to have your position on, and the target that you have to reach. Also for the business impact analysis, I'll share the business impact analysis later in the presentation. Also to decide the budget, and also that we already talk about it, it will be like an investment, not only for a payment. Develop your plan, then start for the implementation, test your plan through the drills and exercises, then also to take the review and maintain your business continuity management plan, then start again for your review and the same cycle to be running on. Business impact analysis is one of the methods and also one of the steps that we already mentioned in the strategy when we are deciding to make the business continuity management plan, which is identifies the critical processes and activities to ensure the operational continuity during and after the dispersion of your plan, or even for the incident that you already faced. Some templates, already mentioned that we have to talk about it for the self-assessment. This is the very simple self-assessment, very, very, very simple. Not, you are not mandatory to take the from the internet, or even for googling it, or you have to go to some standard or something like this. No, you are the right person that you have to identify your own self-assessment. You are the own of the process itself. You have only the information that you have. Otherwise, the internet will not give you just giving you the guidelines, but not only the standards. You have to think in the worst scenarios. So you will ask yourself some questions, make it frequent by quarterly, that this is your target and this is the plan, the annual wheel that you have to talk. And also you have to make it running even every quarter, even twice a year, even a year. It's based on your decision and also based on the potential threats and also the potential consequences which you already decided in the beginning of your plan. For the business impact analysis, this is one of the most important steps that you have to take. All of us knows about the risk assessment. Risk assessment is coming before you're starting any task or any job. The same, almost the same for the business continuity management plan, but not for the only for the control or even for the potential risks or hazards. It's only talking about the impact which will hit your organization or affect your organization, and what is the time that you need and to be recovered. You need it for 4 hours, you need for 24 hours, you need for 3 days, or even 2 weeks maximum or more. Then you have to rank every process and every impact. Okay, maybe the sales, and also for the sub process will be the export, activity that we lost for the customs manifest, by example, okay, and if I will lose this the custom manifest, okay, I lost for it will lead for the delaying the working hours for even for 4 hours, 24 hours. This is the process that you have to work on. Very simple processes, and also any format you need, I can support you anytime, and Mr. Nelish as well you can contact him and he will share with you any requirements. It's all very short session, and your questions will be highly supported as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Thank you for the short and brief presentation, and taking us through what is the business continuity management plan, what is the importance of this, and how it is going to help the organization to sustain or the continuity of their business. So we have a couple of questions before I just take from the chat box. Yeah, thank you, Ala, for sharing that you are from the Suwek, and Mr. Mohammad's shown the especially videos from your area, so I can understand, and I can visualize that how much impactful is the business continuity plan, so that the normalcy was resumed based on all the efforts by the government of Oman. Great. So there is a comment from Mr. Ahmed Karwa. You are totally right. Good planning for contingency plan can run business with little effect. Any more you want to comment on this, Ahmed? There is a comment from Jayendra Mohan, but the challenge is how efficient we are able to foresee the risk. Also the alarm controls availability. So any comment on this, Mohammed? What should be the checklist?
Yes, I just go through the comments. Thanks for your comments, team, and yes, it was like one of the questions is talking about the risk assessment. Okay, also the alarm control availability. Yes, it's almost the near to the alarm, and also the risk assessment. I already mentioned during my session that the business continuity management plan is one of the proactive processes, like the risk assessment, but that we are focusing on the time to recap and also to make the businesses running again. Not only for controlling the hazard, it will be also one of the control measures that you can use for the metrics that you are asking for. You can develop your metrics. You can use 5 times 5, 5 metrics, and also I can share with you the risk metrics and also for the BCM metrics as well when you need, inshallah, Mr. GM. I cannot read the full name for them. Sorry. Jandra? Yeah, Jandra, right? Jandra, yeah, yes. Yeah. I'll share with you. Yes, I'll share it with you, inshallah. No problem at all.
So again, back to that question, Mohammed, whether any, because identifying the different, threats or potential risks to the business, or, for developing their business continuity plan. So whether any sort of checklist or tools can be used to identify whether they have covered all sort of business threats, or, just by the experience.
No. Based on the business or the type of operation, you have to prepare even for the risk management when you are developing your risk management inside your organization. Some major areas that you have to focus on after defining your potential risks, that you will also see from the lesson learned or from your position or your location itself. So from the checklist, yes, that you have to use the Euro checklist, that all items being submitted and also all areas being covered. This one of the steps, and I also mentioned that you have to make your self-assessment. Self-assessment, it will be like a checklist that you have to go through.
Well, thank you, Mohammed. I really like your presentation on especially the 3 different scenarios that you just deal with the emergency as an emergency response, or as a crisis management, or with the business continuity. So, and especially to emphasize that, yeah, this developing a business continuity plan is an investment, not a cost to the company. Anything on do we value the business impact analysis in man hours or monetary loss or in terms of production loss?
Do we value the business impact analysis in man hours or no, 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 no. The value of the way in order to evaluate the rank on the business, the based on the impact on the delaying in order to your business in order to be recapped or recovered to running as well as before the incident happened or even for the crisis which has happened. So the ranking for sure the human should be considered, and also it will increase the value on or the rank of the business continuity management plan, and will give you the priority to take care about this part and also to increase your exercises and everything. So human everywhere, your people is most important issue, and this number one that we have to take care. Plus the business to be running again. Your human resources is your value. Sure, you have to take care.
Mohammed, the next question is a SWOT analysis also to be considered as a part of BCP?
Sorry, Naresh, come again.
The SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis, whether it should be used as a part of developing the business continuity plan?
Yes.
Could you please share the risk matrix and sample copy of BCP? So it will be great if you can send to us and we'll upload on the IOSH, along with the presentation.
Okay,
So,
I'll do it.
For the time constraint, thank you, Mohammed. Can you please stop sharing and I will start sharing my slide?
Yes, you can start your share.
Great. Great. So thank you, Mohammed, for the very short and but precise presentation on this business continuity management plan. Definitely, one of the comment which I see that definitely we need to put more efforts and more time for developing the business continuity management plan, because each organization got the different risks and different threats and different opportunities, and based on that they need to identify what are the business risks to them, what are the threats to them, and based on that they need to develop their business continuity plan. So definitely it need more organized approach and quality time to be spent, and they need to understand their own risk management metrics to develop their business continuity plan. So with this, just coming back to IOSH Oman, we have the branch events on every third Wednesday. Except for the next month, April will be taking excuse because April is the month of Ramadan, and during the Ramadan evening we have this fasting and suhoor. So we thought of taking a break during the April month, but other than that we will be continuing bringing the events on a monthly basis on every third Wednesday. During these events, we bring the presentations, CPT, IPT sessions, panel discussions. So I'll be looking more from you guys through the survey that what is the next topic you really like to, bring, you want us to bring in the next sessions. Just to note down your calendar and block these dates in your calendar. We'll be having the IOSH, branch AGM on 25th of May. We are trying to, bring a plan with the, IOSH Oman conference. We are still in the discussion whether it will be a day event or it will be a online event. We are also trying to bring the face-to-face, event. So we'll send you the updates, later. But the date is freezed, which is 25th of May. So you can block your calendar for the IOSH Oman branch AGM come IOSH Oman conference. We'll be also supporting the Global HSE conference, which is happening on 16th to 19th May in Oman Convention Center. So you can also be part of that. So just as a token of thanks, on behalf of IOSH Oman and on behalf of all the attendees today and IOSH, thanks to Mr. Vishwanathan for bringing this excellent topic, excelling HSE performance through emotional intelligence. I'll be sending this token of thanks through this certificate to you, sir, and we'll be looking forward for your more valuable attendance in the future events. Thanks, Mohammed, for ensuring the business continuity of IOSH Oman branch and sharing the knowledge to our members. So bringing this excellent topic for the day. I know we planned this session couple of times, and every time some emergency comes, and then we have to reschedule this. But this time we were lucky, and we lucky to have you, and with this successful presentation. So thank you, Mohammed, for for your excellent presentation. I'll be sending this as a token of thanks as a certificate to you by email. So with this, I urge all the members and non-members, you can please make use of the IOSH blueprint framework for the competency development. This you can use as a opportunity for your occupational health and safety development. Even the organizations can use it, or to build the HSE culture in their organizations. You can also use this technical core and behavioral competence framework. We are trying to organize this IOSH branch event based on this competency framework. Like today, we brought this session based on the strategy and the leadership and management, or working with others. So we are trying to select the different topics to help you to develop your own HSE competence based on these different elements developed by the IOSH competency framework. If you are an experienced health and safety professional, I urge you to register yourself as a mentor through the IOSH mentoring scheme. Or if you are new to the OHS profession, you can also make use of this mentoring scheme by selecting the mentors, or by becoming the mentee. So register yourself for this IOSH mentoring scheme, and get benefit from the experience of from each other. We, as a committee members, we are happy to support you in all the way. Whether you have any issues on your membership, or whether you want to bring us some different topics on your IPD CPD develop professional development, we are reachable to you for this, and we'll be happy to support you. We have different committees to support on that. So with this, we know that the COVID is going, and the performance, in terms of statistics, the numbers are coming down. There are a lot of leverage coming in terms of the COVID management. So now things are getting open. Hope everybody got vaccinated. Still, if you are vaccinated, still maintain the safe distancing, maintain all the COVID protocol, stay safe, and looking forward for your feedback when you receive the email from the IOSH UK on today's seminar. Give your valuable feedback so that how we can improve further in future, or what sort of topics you are looking for forward from us to bring for you. So with this, thank you everybody for staying and for actively participating. I know because of the time constraint, we were not able to take all the questions. Definitely, we'll pass these questions to the presenters. We'll try to get these questions answered, and we'll be sharing this presentation, also the recording, which will be available on the IOSH website, which is Catherine has put on the this chat box, the link to that. So you can anytime log into that. Probably by next week you will be having these presentation and the recording available on the website. So with this, thank you, and looking forward to see you in the next session. Thank you. All the best.